Now, I'm going to be bringing in our next speaker, Dahlia Elizabeth Wist. Dahlia is the founder of Dahlia Mandala, a platform that helps people create a life of beauty, connection, and flow. I love that. Beauty, connection, and flow. Really resonates with me. She's a Renaissance woman, no doubt. She's an artisan, spiritualist, businesswoman focusing on art and personal unfoldment. Dahlia is based in the Finger Lakes region, New York State, of course, and she makes and sells spiritually inspired artwork to brighten up and lift your environment. But that's not all. She helps people clear away internal and external clutter so they can step into the light and live brighter, more authentic versions of themselves. Please give a warm welcome to Dahlia.
Thank you, Bruce, and welcome everybody. So the title of my talk is How to Organize Your Life by the Seasons for Greater Efficiency and Flow. When you understand how to leverage the influence of the seasons, you can take appropriate actions to improve your effectiveness in all dealings of your life. In this talk, I'm going to share with you the philosophy about this, as well as some practical applications and a visualization to help integrate the learning. Following the seasons is a natural thing for all plants, animals, and sentient beings. As a matter of fact, everybody depends on sunlight for growth and production. Humans have been tracking the sun since the beginning of time. In ancient civilizations, people even built temples to record the passage of light. Moreover, rituals were created to help to connect and align with the transit of the sun. This is especially true in the domestication of crops, where the quality of seed sowing and harvest was critical to their survival. So what is the solar cycle? Solstices are where the sun is the furthest from the equator. And this happens in the summer around June 21st, and in the winter about December 21st. The equinoxes are when the sun passes through the equator, and there's two of these. These occur around March 21st, when we're rising up into the brightness, and it's called the vernal equinox. And then in September, when we're passing into the darkness, and that's the autumnal equinox. So why would we care about this? Well, this is a key. There's powerful leverage at these peak times that provides momentum to accomplish tasks and not work as hard. Plus, it propels us into the next season or growth cycle. So their cycles or seasons are split up into 3-month intervals. Basically 1 month before and after each solstice or equinox. So with our Gregorian calendar here in the US, it's set up that the seasons actually start on the solstices and equinoxes. But what I'm referring to here is the entire solar influence of each season, which actually starts 1 month before and ends 1 month after. To help these concepts land, I'm going to share with you the influence of each of these different seasons and take you around the calendar year. So the next one that's coming up will be the winter solstice. And that season goes from November through December and into January. And of course, the solstice is in the middle on December 21st. So the time that we would want to leverage and take the most action is going to be in November. The reason why is because this is the end of the growth cycle. This is when we want to close up all our affairs for the year. And if there's anything that hasn't been working, we want to let go of that. So it's also a time of release and sacrifice. And the better job that we do in November, by the time we get to the winter solstice, there's leverage that will carry us through January, and we can rest and renew, get ready for the new year. The next one is early spring, which goes from February through March and into April, and March being the vernal equinox. So the time of leverage here is February. This is where, if you've made plans from the New Year's resolutions, you'll want to start doing some stuff with them now, or make just fresh plans. This is where you'll want to start to go through your closets and identify who the new you is that you want to express in the year ahead. And the better job that you do of that right around February, where there's leverage, then by the time you get into March, then that's going to help to carry you through. You're building momentum, and then this is time to really be reaching out with people, reestablish your relationships for the new year, start to build new ones. And then finally, we get into the brightest time of the year. And this is where there's the most growth and the most activity. And it goes from May to June and into July. And as Bruce was mentioning, coming from the West Coast, there's not such drastic season changes there as there is over here. And if you're over on the East Coast, you'll see, like, in May is when all the leaves pop out. That's when there's a lot of new, fresh growth. And that's a really key leverage point. So if you haven't made the phone call, if you haven't started to initiate anything yet, now's the time. This is when you want to put the most effort into your projects. If there's a new product you want to launch, new initiatives, anything like that. And then the more that you do that there and work out the glitches, then when you get into the summer solstice at June 21st, there's momentum there to carry you through July and onward from there. And you can tell too, by the time you get to July, that's usually a time to take a break because we've been working so hard. And then the fall cycle starts in August. So it's August, September, and October. In August, that's where we want to get back to work and start to course correct and look at our plans. Let's say if we're off track at all, or maybe what we started doing, we have more information now and it turns out that we want to do something else. So the key is course correction in August, and start taking care of unfinished business, because we want to wrap up the growth season by Halloween or the end of October. So we have that 3-month cycle there. And then when we get into November, we do the final release and get ready for rest. And the cycle continues on and on. And I've been following this for many years. And I'll have to say that as you decide to make this part of your life and identify these key leverage points, it really helps with feeling grounded and that there's meaning and purpose. So now to help these concepts land, I want to take us on a journey through the wheel of the year for the seasons through a meditation. And there's one more concept I want to share before we go into this. And it's that there's 2 polarities within the calendar year that are 6 months each. And the first one is masculine, and that's where we go into that bright time of the year at May, and it lasts all the way through October. This is where we want to apply the most action and sustained effort and all our worldly dealings. And then the other polarity is the feminine, which is November through April. And that's a time of release, rest, and building a new foundation. So the release happens in November. There's the rest through the rest of the winter. And then building a new foundation starts in February. So if it's comfortable for all of you, I'd like you to close your eyes and just relax in your chair. And we'll take some smooth breaths in and out. And for the purpose of this storytelling, I'm going to refer to the feminine as the Earth Mother and the Sun, or the masculine as the Sun King. So just breathe smoothly in and out. And let's imagine now we're moving into November in a few days. And the Earth Mother is here waiting for you. And she's got a beautiful fire ready and a comfortable bed for you to rest in. So you go ahead and wrap up the last of your activities for this growth season and let go of anything that you don't want to carry with you into the new year. You finish all your business and then you get into bed and rest, and you can hear the crackling of the fire. And you're feeling getting nice and renewed. And then one day it's really cold out and there's some fresh light coming in through the window. So you wake up and it's early spring in February, and you blink your eyes open and see that the fire is burned down. So you get up and you start making new plans for the year. You go through your closets, you're assessing what you want to accomplish and getting excited and reaching out to your contacts and friends and coworkers, and you're gaining so much momentum. And everybody's glad to see the new you. And then now it's summertime, it's May, and we're shifting into the masculine time of the year. And the Sun King is here to receive you. And it's a metaphor for this powerful growth energy. And you show him your plans and all that you want to accomplish for the year. And he gives you the power and energy to move forward and accomplish all that you want to do. And one day there's a little chill in the air, and you sense that fall is coming and the Earth Mother will be here for you again. And the fields are turning brown of grain. And so you get back to work and you course correct and take care of all unfinished business and make adjustments, and you continue to get things done, and you're celebrating your harvest. You ask yourself, is this what I want to wrap up for the year? You make all the adjustments. And then finally, the dark time of the year is here, and the Earth Mother is here for you to bring you in to the darkness. And as she guides you in, you finish up your last tasks. You let go of everything that you don't want to carry for the new year. And you're so tired, and she has that beautiful, cozy bed ready for you and a crackling fire to keep you warm. And you lay down and you sleep. And then one day, there's fresh light that comes in, and you blink your eyes open and the songbirds are back and there's fresh life and fresh light. So you make plans and move forward. And then finally the Sun King comes and he's ready to receive your plans and helps to energize you so you get everything done. And you accomplish all that you want, and then you sense that fall's coming and you course correct. And the Earth Mother comes back for you again. And this cycle goes on and on. And every time you go through the cycle, you become stronger, brighter, more beautiful and accomplished than ever before. And now we'll do just a couple gentle breathing exercises with words. So as you inhale, breathe in masculine. And as you exhale, feminine. As you inhale, we're breathing in masculine. And as you exhale, feminine. As you inhale, breathe in growth. As you exhale, harvest. Inhale, growth. Exhale, harvest. Inhale, action. Exhale, rest. Inhale, action. Exhale, rest. And now let's start to take some deeper breaths in and out. And as you feel ready, you can start to blink your eyes open. Good job, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. So to conclude, I want to thank you for going on that journey. And if you ever feel like you're not sure what you should be doing with your time, or you feel disconnected with life, or just out of place and not grounded, just ask yourself, what season are you in? And what are the associated energies of that time? And then take appropriate action from there. If anyone is ever listening to this and they're in the Southern Hemisphere, you'd want to just take the information I shared about each of the months and flip it to meet the cycles down there. Also, for anybody that's listening to the replay of this, just consider what the current season is that you're in and take appropriate action from there. Yeah, so I teach workshops on this, also yoga and meditation. I do services for energy clearings and decluttering, removing blockages of all kinds. So if anyone's interested in learning more about me or following up, you can go to my website, which is dahliamandala.com, It's spelled DahliaMandala.com, and send me an email. You can also let me know that you saw this talk at this summit, and you can share with me a coupon code called Ikigai. It's spelled IKIGAI. And if you mention that, I'll give you 20% off a service or offering. So thank you.
So, Dahlia, I love that. I think that's the second time I've gone through part of that, and I find that just so connecting. Aaron is saying I have to leave. Understand, no problem. The recording is going to be out there. Actually, I'm glad that Dahlia mentioned that, because we're going to not only have the recording out there for the public, but I'm going to actually have the individual recording. So if somebody's looking for Dahlia, they can just watch the Dahlia video. Or somebody's just looking for Aaron or for Mari or whoever else is out there. So you can watch it from beginning to ending, or you can watch whatever person is you're interested in at that time. I love this. There's something about this. I've never followed this pattern before, but I find that it settles very nicely on my soul. I mean, I can feel that idea of coming into the rest, kind of completing things for November, which is coming up, of course. And I don't think there's any coincidence that this summit is happening just before that, and I'm actually getting ready to go into a bit of a personal retreat, not 100%, but more of a retreat, so that I'm more focused within through the winter months. And what I do for that practice is I take long weekends for a meditation retreat and that sort of thing. What kind of suggestions would you give people as they're coming into this season of renewal, in terms of finishing up in November and getting ready for the winter? What could people be doing right now that would help them have a more smooth transition through November and getting ready for that rest and recovery? What would you recommend, Dahlia?
Well, to get ready for the rest and recovery, just it's important to recognize that this time of year is a natural time of like sacrifice and release, with it being Halloween and the Day of the Dead. And that's just like a launching point for this cycle of letting go. And so specific things that you would want to do is just exactly that, wrap up projects. So it doesn't mean that you have to go into inertia. Just consider that some practical things, like we're going into the holidays, that's more of a conventional look at things. But you don't want to be halfway through projects and whatnot as you're going into that. So just be honest with yourself and look at what's going on. Make a list and just bring it to a good stopping point. The other thing with the release is to acknowledge if there's things that weren't working, because during that fall time, you can think of it as like the cornucopia, and there's all these Oktoberfest, and there's lots of celebration, right? You're celebrating all the harvest and what you've done. So when we go into November, that's looking at the feedback, like what could I do different next year? You can ask yourself, like, if you had any contracts with people, or there's people in your life that you don't want into the next, you can find ways of gently ushering them out or making changes. And that way, by the time we're done with the hustle and bustle of the holidays, you can rest all through January. That's a time of great rest. You don't want to be doing the activation with the Sun King energy during that time, where you're launching all these projects. just take it easy.